Alright, it's Hoshana Rabbah. Last night in our sukkah, it's a bit nostalgic, a bit happy, sad, but Baruch Hashem, we have Shmini Atzeret and Simcha Torah. So I wanted to say just a few things regarding the dancing. As a preparation, we know it's the day, the moment of the year where we actually dance. Mitzvah to dance. It's an avoda to dance. So since it's an avoda to dance, then we have to be very careful to do the actual dancing service. Meaning, obviously, we want it to come naturally out of joy, but we're supposed to stop learning and dance at that moment. So the idea is, how do we get to that dancing in a way that it becomes natural, not just that I feel forced, that I just go dance. Obviously, a lot of people, they learn Torah and they get excited, this, like, look at what the Torah made for me. But for a lot of people, they don't necessarily know how to connect to the Torah, or they don't feel like they learn enough to be happy, or they don't feel like their learning makes them happy in the first place. So how can we connect to an actual dancing, a happy dancing that comes from the soul? The other time that we dance in the Jewish calendar is Tu B'Av, or at least it used to be that the women were dancing, and that's how we found the Shidduch. The men will come and see all the women dressed in white, all in the field, all dressed the same, not to distinguish between the rich and the poor, everybody equal, and they will see them dance and say, I want this one. Now, why is it like that? Because we know dancing is an expression of the soul. They will understand what type of woman that woman is by the way she dances. Obviously, we're speaking about dance of holiness, not dance of club dance or stuff like that. Real holy dancing that comes from within. And in many ways, this is really what we're trying to reach now on Shmini Atzeret, Simcha Torah, which is really one day, and to reach that level of dancing like a soul. Because really what we're doing, as my Rebbe was explaining, based on the Chovos HaLevovos and the Ramban, is that the avodas, or the avodah of the midos, the working on midos, is not about changing your midos. It's really to unravel your midos that are there already, that are good. And so you're going 7 times to remove the 7 klipos that are around each one of my midah. Because my spiritual emotions, my physical emotions are, my 6 main midos, 7 main midos are here, and they just have been tainted since I was born by my social pressure, by the institution, religious or not, by the parents, by siblings, by wherever it surrounds us and influences us. And we have created walls, 7 walls, like the 7 walls of Jericho. And we're going 7 times saying that I want to remove, just like a woman who goes around the husband by the Ashkenaz under the chuppah 7 times, or just like the man who puts on tefillin 7 times. So we go 7 times counterclockwise. We say we're going to undo all those tainted, all those klippos, all those things that we have put around our 7 midos that prevents us from expressing our true chesed, from expressing our true gvura, expressing our true tiferes, netzahod, yesod, malchus, that we learn from the 7 shepherds, 7 ushpizin, how to become like that, It's really not to become, it's to reveal, like that, right? If I understand I'm a piece of God, I'm already divine, godly. I'm already pure from within. We say every morning, Elokai neshama shenasata bi Torah. So my soul is pure. So I need to. So we know the Shari Kedusha says that there are klipos. There's a filter between my neshama and my body, and therefore I don't feel the spirituality. I don't feel the joy, the natural happiness of life, that my inherent divine essence that is full of joy and love. So why don't I feel that? Because I have negative midot. Those were designed specifically by God, and we grew up, we don't decide those things, it happens to us, and then those are the avodah to remove those filters. And we have to remove, and interestingly, the Shari Kedusha says there's 4 roots of all evil midos. And how many minim? Arba minim. It corresponds to Yud Kei Vav Kei, says the Shari Kedusha, just like the Arba minim. So we're trying to remove all those Arba 4 main negative character traits, so that correspond to the 4 elements: fire, water, air, and earth. And then we are then able to naturally let our Yud Kei Vav Kei, right? Our body is also Yud Kei Vav Kei. Yud is the head, Hey is my arms and torso, right? Then you have the Vav, and then the spine, right, and from the head to the Yesod, and then the Hey, the legs. So we represent that 4-step thing, but within it you have the 7 lower midos, the 7 spheres corresponding to the body. So we're trying to clean that. We say during Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, we say the 13 attributes of mercy, and how does it end? Venake. That He cleans us. Meaning we have the good traits, and Hashem cleans us. By the time we reach Yom Kippur, with Yom Kippur being the kapara, we're cleaned everything that is between our body and soul, hopefully. And technically we start feeling a certain level of excitement and joy, that my body got closer to my soul. I feel a bit more spiritual. I feel that those my midos, those 7 spheres in me vibrating and wanting to express itself, and it starts Sukkot, and we try to sparks more light to each one of those 7 spheres that are kind of dormant in us, that were not, they were dormant because we were not in touch with them. It's almost like we're trying to wake each one up now that we're clean, now that there's no barriers, no filters between my body and neshama. Now is the best time to start. So we invite Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Moshe, Aaron, Yosef, David. We invite our inner power to get revealed. And each day we try to work on each one of those midos that we learned from our forefathers. And finally comes Sukkot, Shmini Atzeret, Simcha Torah, and we start dancing. And I really believe we have to make a different dancing, especially this time, this year. We have to be different. We can't do a dancing just like around. So you look at the child, and the child is dancing, and I'm always thinking, who was the first great dancer? David HaMelech. David HaMelech, when he was bringing, you can check in Shmuel, chapter 6, verse 14, where David HaMelech, Shmuel Beit, he's dancing, and he debased himself, so to speak, or at least Michal, his wife, felt that he debased himself. He was dancing with so much, with all his strength and with all his body, and he took off his royal garb to put the same as the Cohen and Levi and ephod, white, and dancing, doing, I imagine like those children do cartwheel, and um, and she felt that you can't do that, you're the king. And David HaMelech said, no, I was dancing for Hashem. On the contrary, it'll be if I don't express myself fully that way, it's almost a sin for me. And that we should not, the commentaries were saying, the Rambam, that we should not refrain from expressing ourselves. We should not worry what people are going to say in those moments, because we are really at the moment of being able to serve Hashem fully. So I imagine that's the same thing with us, where like a child, innocent, we have the opportunity to dance in front of Hashem. If you have children, take a moment home to put a chumash by the table, and you could go around with the kids dancing, and you have the kids say, okay, now you dance, and you're going to do what you do, and dance like a kid would dance, with the same excitement, with the same joy and spontaneity. They when a child dances, he doesn't care what's happening. He dances like nobody is looking at him. Try to dance that way. Also, one of the great things would be to take a Sefer Torah in shul, and you sit with the Sefer Torah like the Kala is sitting, and the Chazan is dancing in front of the Kala. We know the Torah is our Kala, so to speak. And do all the shtick that you do. Now, it's great to dance in a circle, and there's an Kabbalistic Indian to dance in a circle, but you want to transcend also that, to go to be able to express the self, the inner child in you, because then what is precious about it is that your 7 midos, your 7 spheres, will be able to express themselves that way. You're dancing. How do you think Avraham Avinu will dance? How do you think Yitzchak Avinu will dance? How do you think Yaakov Avinu will dance? How do you think Moshe, Aaron, Yosef, and David will dance? David, we know. Can you dance with your chesed? Can you dance with your gvura, with your tiferes? Can you dance with gratitude? It's like you have 7 types of dances. Can you dance like a king? But it starts with dancing like a child. Naturally, you let the body follow the soul. And that's the greatest type of service you can do. To let bechol atzmosai, with all my bones, with all my body, I serve God. You let your entire self being expressed in a natural way. So try not to be shy. On the contrary, if you dance for God, for the sake of the Torah, there's nothing to feel shy about. And I want to share actually something that I read today. Let's see if I find it right away. Hold on. Okay, sorry, I found it. So, the David HaMelech says that when he answered Michal, first of all, David said he responded that a king should not let his conduct be guided by the opinions of the masses. So, kol vachomer for an individual like us. But he said what the Rambam says, the Malcham in Ilchos Lulav. So you know it's connected. Ilchos Lulav. The Rambam says, chapter 8, Mishnah 15, he writes that David's conduct is the model of divine service, which must be done with great joy. On the contrary, those whose dignity does not permit them to show their joy are sinful and foolish. Listen to that again. Those whose dignity does not permit them to show their joy are sinful and foolish. David's ecstasy transcended logic. His acceptance of the yoke of God's service made him oblivious to criticism. That's really what we want to try to get. And one of the reasons we go in a circle is because we're all equal to him, and that's what David HaMelech was saying, that Lifnei Hashem, we're all equal. There's no king or rabbi or this. It's a time to express who you are, your child. Go back to childhood. Be innocent like a child. And be happy, right? A child is connected to his emotions. He wakes up in the morning and he plays. He's happy. He wants, because there's no filter. The filter comes as they grow up, as they get hurt. But you're clean now. You don't have to worry. You're protected by Hashem. You don't have to worry about the world around. You're shaked in all direction. When you feel truly safe from everything around you, from any influence, you're in the Ananya Kavod. When you truly feel that you're clean, that Hashem loves you, then you're going to feel happy, right? Hashem forgives you no matter what you did. You just need to connect to Hashem and just dance. Just dance. Kids love dancing. You put music, they start dancing naturally. The neshama feels it and the body follows. That's what we're trying to ask with. It's dancing from the soul. Let your body be directed by your soul, by the six, lower emotions, and this way we can start a year where we're going to be connected to our neshama. We're going to pay more attention to the movement of the soul, right? To the six directions, Chesed, Yesod, and so that our body is able to tune in with the soul. My Rebbe said many years ago that how do we know our mission? If someone is really connected, every night the soul goes to in Shamayim and is given the information it needs for the day. And the neshama comes back in the body. As the day goes, the neshama gives messages that it received during the night of what it's supposed to do. And if the person is attuned to his message, I feel like this, I feel like that, at that moment I have a desire to do that, an intention, then I can pay attention to my soul and actually know what I'm supposed to do on that day, on that moment. Is this how to find one's mission? So we have to be attuned to ourselves, attuned to our soul. And this way we can have a year where we're truly fulfilling our mission in life. I will conclude with the Esh Kodesh. The Esh Kodesh says that you can use anything that you feel in you, any emotional or sensation you start having, use them to serve God right away. So like you get used to being in tune with your soul. You have even if it's something physical that happens, so you feel pain or you feel suffering or you feel happiness or brokenhearted or joy, use that and use the Tehillim connected to that and say it with that feeling, expressing it, and then speak to God with your own words that way. like that. You learn to pay attention to every feeling in you, and you express it, and you use it, and you serve God with it. So the whole day you're connected. So I wish everyone of Chag Sameach, Happy Sukkot. I have, for those who want, I have meditation for each akafa. The first akafa you dance because you celebrate Chesed, and the second one the Gvura. So I have I will send on the main groups. But if someone wants to receive on his own chat, you can ask me, and I will, Bezat Hashem, send it to you. Chag Sameach, and may you dance like never before.